And I remember thinking, what am I doing? I woke up one morning and I thought, that's it. I cannot live like this anymore. Because if I don't change my ways, my American ways, I am going to live in this country and just suffer. Emotionally, mentally, I will never get it. I'll never really catch on. I'll never really be happy. I'll never really have the joy and the peace that I so desperately want in this country because I'm not willing to change my American ways. I cannot Americanize Mexico. I'm an American in their country, and they already have their ways, and I have to learn their ways. That doesn't mean that I'm not American. I still have many of my American, things about me. But if I'm gonna live here long term, I have got to change. And when I did that, when I finally got it, my life completely changed. And I learned to become like the people. How do you do that? How do you do that without losing yourself, your own identity? How do you do that? Hello from Mexico. I am Rita, and I am from Oklahoma. And how do you even start these channels, right? How do you even do an introduction? I'm starting this channel because I really want to show people what Mexico is like. I live in Estado de Mexico, and so I live very close to Mexico City on the outskirts. And this is not the beach. This is not the rancho. This is none of that. This is city life, traffic, lots of concrete. There's beautiful places, but it's a lot of chaos. And how can I show you what Mexico is really like? I want to show you the good. I want to show you the bad. I want to show you what the culture is like, the people, the traditions, how people live, the streets, the stores, the really, really nice places, some bad places. I want you to be able to see Mexico the way that Mexico is. Do that, then I have accomplished my goal. That is my goal, is to show you Mexico. When I first came to Mexico, I was in shock, pure culture shock. This girl from Oklahoma coming to one of the biggest cities in the world. Oklahoma's Oklahoma, right? And we don't have anything. We have a lot of cows and grass and fields, all that stuff. And I came here to the biggest city, one of the biggest cities in the world, and I was in shock. And I didn't do too well the first few years. I wouldn't say I wasted time. I would say I didn't give it my all because I was stuck in my ways. I was stuck in my American ways. I did learn a lot, but I was more of an observer. And so I started to feel immediately the shock, the differences. This was nothing like Oklahoma. This was nothing like I could have ever even imagined. It was so different to me. And it was very, very difficult in the beginning. Very, very difficult. I had to learn how to wash clothes. I had to learn how to function. We didn't have a car back then. With the car, I had to learn how to walk places. I had to learn how to get on the transportation and how to get on the subway in Mexico City with so many people. And it was very difficult for me. But I had to do it. There was no choice. All of that, just day-to-day living was difficult. And now that I look back, it's so funny because, it feels like so long ago. I cannot even count the number of times I just cried at night in my bed just because I missed the comfortableness of being home, in Oklahoma. I was sad. I missed my mom and dad. I missed my family. I missed my grandma. I missed the stores. I missed just the to me, it was just very simple life. And coming here and being surrounded by so many people and so much traffic and so much noise and sometimes I just call it chaos. And I mean that, in a good way. Um, I missed it. There was a part when I was grieving. I was grieving my country. And it went away. During the years, it went away. I remember every year on July 4th that I would go to my room. Nobody knew. My kids didn't know. My husband didn't know. But every year on July 4th, I would go to my room or my bathroom and I would turn the song on, I'm Proud to Be an American. And I would turn that on and I would listen to it every year on July 4th. And I just listened to it and I would cry and cry like a little baby and boo-hooing, because I'm an American. I miss, I'm proud. I am proud to be an American. And I would just cry like a little baby. I did that every year until the last 2 years. July 4th came and went, and I realized, oh, I didn't listen to my song. I didn't go to my bathroom or my closet and listen to my song. And I thought, wow, that's how you're healing. That's how you're okay. You did it. You're here. You're Mexican now, pretty much, right? Many people, there's an emotional side to it, right? When you're doing something, new. Oh, I'm going to move to Mexico and I'm going to love it and everything's going to be perfect. Well, that happens at first, but after weeks, months settle in, there is going to be a reality and it's going to hit you. And it hits most people very hard because the reality is a reality. You realize what you're doing, where you are. You're realizing the emotion and the excitement has worn off, and you have to deal with that. You have to deal with the emotions, the change. You have to deal with all kinds of different feelings, and it's not easy. But when you get to the point where you say, this is where I am, this is where I'm going to be for whatever reason. Maybe you move here because you want to, maybe because your husband was deported, for whatever reason. You have to get to the point where you say, I have to immerse myself. And you have to immerse yourself, even when it's difficult, even when it's challenging. I remember trying to learn how to drive. We have so many people here. There's so many people here. The population, I don't know the exact number, but the population is so big, and there's people everywhere. And driving, I was so scared to drive because there's no rules. You do what you want, right? Basically, and you're on your own. And so I knew that. I knew that going into it. I knew once I got on the road and I started driving, especially with my kids, I really had to be confident. I had to do it. I had to immerse myself into it, because if I was going to go scared, I was going to get in an accident. Something would happen to me because I was just terrified. It was so many people. But once I learned to immerse myself and not be scared and say, Rita, you have to do this, and you're going to have to do it whether you want to or not. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's challenging, you're going to do it. And when you get it done, you're going to feel so good about yourself because you accomplished it, because you did it. So after 10 years, of living here, I look back on my life over the last 10 years and I realized when I did make that change, when I decided to fully immerse myself, that's when my life really began to change. I started asking tons of questions. I wasn't just silent anymore, just thinking. I was getting involved. I was asking questions. I needed to know. I was conversating with the people. I was doing all the things that a person needs to do in order just to feel part of life, of daily life. And it gave me a confidence that I needed to continue on. And so now today, 10 years later, I am very happy in Mexico. I told my husband, I said, I have learned more things in such a short amount of time, just about life, than I ever learned in Oklahoma all those years. Because here I have learned another way of living, right? And you also realize how blessed we are in the United States. And it just changed me. It changed me. I saw, women so differently than in the States. And I say that with all respect. It's just a different life. You know, women that they are resilient, and Mexican people are the hardest workers. They will always find a way. They're so intelligent, and you know, people they will do what they got to do to put food on the table, and they will open their puestos or their businesses or whatever. They will sell whatever they have to sell on the streets to bring food home for their family. And that was something that I was not used to in the States. It was different, you know, it was just different. Um, and it wasn't like that here. I saw people work so hard, also for so little. And I realized that, wow, these people are just, they're just precious. They're just amazing people that are working so hard, and the women so hard in their homes and with their families, and they will make amazing meals in the kitchen with hardly any ingredients or whatever they have left, you know, and they will come out and have this extraordinary meal for their family with such little ingredients, whatever they have, you know. And I learned that, and I thought, wow, you know, I wish people could see this, because people have no idea. And the States, were just blessed. We're blessed, and we. I'm not saying that people are not here not blessed, because they are, but it's just a different way of life. It is a different way of life. So I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for taking your time, and hopefully you will go on this journey with me and my family. And I am excited. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but it just wasn't time. The time wasn't right, but the time is right now. And I hope that you will follow me on my journey. I hope that you'll subscribe and you'll like, and let me bring Mexico to you. That is my goal. And I hope that I can accomplish that.